Good morning, student. Today we will discuss corn law. Before going to corn law, let's we discuss the 19th century or the period between 1815 to 1914. Three types of movements or flows within international economic exchange in this time. The first one is flow of trade, that is goods, cloths or wheat. Second one, flow of labor, means migration in search of job or employment. Thirdly, flow of capital, means short or long term investment over long distance. A world economy takes shifts due to this. Population growth from the late 18th century had increased the demand for food grains in Britain. Urban centers expanded and industry grew. The demand for agricultural products went up. Increased food grains prices. Under pressure from landed or landlord groups, government restricted the imports of corn by corn law. So people became unhappy with high food prices. Industrialists and urban dwellers forced the abolitions of the corn law. After abolition, food could be imported into Britain more cheaply. British agricultures unable to compete with the price of these. So thousands of men and women lost work or job. Food prices fell. Consumption rose. In Eastern Europe, Russia, America, Australia, land were clear and food production expanded to meet the British demand. In 19th century, 50 million people migrated from Europe to America and Australia. All over the world, 150 million, remember it, 150 million migrated for better future. In West Punjab, British Indian government built a network of irrigation canals to transform semi-desert wasteland into fertile, grow wheat and cotton for export. In canal, colonies were settled by peasants from other parts of Punjab. Between 1820 and 1914, production of commodities multiplied 25 to 40 times. Remember it, 25 to 40 times. 60% trade comprised primary product like wheat, cotton and